guys? It's the RetrofloraPodcast. I'm Brenda.
And I'm Charmy, and we're just two crazy sisters with opinion and a channel.
If you like true crime, conspiracies, and supernatural crap, then this is your channel. Welcome back.
Well, this spooky season, I watched all the Fear Streets movies again, because, I always watch it during Halloween time.
The first Fear Street scares me. Okay, I don't know why that girl singing and with that razor blade scared me so much, but when I first watched it, I just was so scared of her. I would look out the window and pray that I didn't see her.
Oh my god. It's like, she's not the one that scares me. The one that scares me is the one with the axe who runs at you. It's because he runs at you. I can outmaneuver her. I can just run away because the rest of them really walk after you or jog. But no, he is a track star. He be chasing you down.
Man, I don't know. It's something about the this is fun for me type of you running after me. I expect that from a serial killer or whatever. You singing and just slowly walking, it gives me its follows, and I'm not really following that. I don't like that. The calmness of you coming to me, knowing that what you want to do to me. No. Mm-mm.
I also watched the Fear Street prom queen one, and I can see why people didn't like it.
Yeah, I haven't watched it. I only heard bad things about it, so not one good review I've seen from that movie.
Saw this one review, was like, it has good 80s nostalgia, and that's it. Everything else sucks.
Okay, well, I love a good 80s nostalgia movie. I was watching The Goonies the other day. Love it. But what did I watch? I watched Megan for the first time, and you know what? I enjoyed it. I thought it was a fun horror movie. You know what I mean? I thought it was a fun slasher. And then I watched, oh my god, you guys, I watched Quarantine. I forgot how much Quarantine pisses me off, because that girl screaming the entire time was pissing me off. Girl, I get it, you're scared. I definitely get it. These things are attracted to noise. Shut the up, okay? Just stop. I'm mad she was the final girl, because I'm like, girl, so many people died that shouldn't have died because of you. So it's yeah. Also, a movie I watched, love this movie, feel like it's so underrated. The Skeleton Key. It's such a good movie.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. That twist ending at the end.
Mm-hmm.
Chef's kiss. Whoever wrote that, kudos to you. It's a long intro, so sorry
about
about that.
And also, Skeleton Key and Get Out are two different things.
Yeah, please stop comparing them. They're not the same thing.
Skeleton Key is just Get Out but reversed. I'm like, no, it's not.
Sorry, spoiler alert.
Oh. Well, it's not even really a spoiler, because you don't really know who's the bad guy until the end, because you don't know those people are. Yeah.
And Get Out, you kind of got a feel of who the bad guys are.
Anyway, what do you got for us today, Brenda?
Urban Legends, my favorite. I love Urban Legends. Mind you, I actually just watched someone spoil the movie Urban Legend. I saw Urban Legend years ago.
Which one?
The main one. The main Urban Legend, not the film one, but the other. I don't know what the other one's called.
The first one where they're at college?
Yeah, that one. I don't know what that one's called.
Because there's Urban Legend Final Cut, which is the movie one, then Urban Legend Bloody Mary.
I didn't
watch that one either.
I think
there's another Urban Legend too after that.
I've only seen the first two. But ironically, love that movie. We should have watched that movie and compared them to Urban Legends, because they actually have a lot of Urban Legends in that movie. Mm-hmm. But we'll do it one day. We won't do it one day. I'm sorry. Just go watch the movie.
Without further ado, let's get into this.
So, urban legends are modern folklore stories. Some are short, some are long, and they are usually exaggerated and distorted. They tend to have a mix of mystery, fear, humor, or moral lesson. These legends can be entertaining, but some are mysterious and troubling, covering things like disappearances, strange objects, or entities.
I'm sorry, what lesson am I learning from the Bloody Mary?
Do not go in front of the mirror and say her name. Stop summoning things, okay? They're not from this world. Leave them alone.
Okay, I guess I learned that.
Some urban legends are passed down from years or decades, with sometimes having minor changes to the story. They are usually secondhand narratives, such as a heard it from a friend of a friend sort of vibe. So they're usually spread through word of mouth. That's usually how your typical urban legends are spread. Although nowadays with technology, that's on the internet. So yeah. Folklorists believe urban legends reflect the anxieties and beliefs of modern society. The term urban legend began appearing in the mid-20th century and was used to describe the modern too good to be true stories passed through oral accounts. The phrase became popularized in 1981 with the publication of the book The Vanishing Hitchhiker: An American Urban Legends and Their Meanings by folklorist Jan Harold Brunband. One of his well-known stories is about a person who picks up a hitchhiker, the hitchhiker vanishes, and then the driver realizes the person was a ghost this whole time. Which, I've heard quite a few stories like that.
It was on the first season of the Twilight Zone show.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
There was one there's a book in...
Well, in that episode, the girl was a hitchhiker, she asked the guy for a ride, and it turns out that she was dead, and he was like taking, like, the ferryman taking her to come to that realization.
In the book, A Dark Room, there is a story about this guy who, like, I don't know if he picks up this girl or how they interact with it, but she ends up leaving her sweater. I think he picked her up, and she ended up leaving her sweater in the car. And he went to the place that he dropped her off at, and they were like, dude, she's dead. And he went to, no, he didn't leave her. She didn't leave her sweater. He gave his sweater to her because she was cold. And so he went to the graves, like her grave site, and he found her sweater laying there.
It's also,
his sweater's laying there.
The movie The Hitcher, the hitchhiker
who is
trying to kill that couple.
Psycho killer. That is not an urban legend. Do not pick up hitchhikers, you guys.
I just remember, what's her name? Oh crap! What's her name? Kate Bush? That's not her name. That's a singer.
Yeah, I have no idea.
But it's something Bush, isn't it? The main girl.
I don't know.
Sophie Bush. That's her name.
Oh,
it's
Sophia.
Sophia. Oh, Sophia Bush. I think.
Oh, okay.
One of those.
Wait, is she the girl from
what's that movie? It's a video game, right?
Yeah, Stay Alive.
Yeah, Stay Alive. Yeah,
okay,
her.
Yeah.
But she was in that movie, and they pick up a hitchhiker, and he tries to kill them.
Yeah, you guys. There's too many real true crime cases about that and stories about that. Urban legends usually have a short plot that involves a series of weird events or unlikely coincidences followed by a twisted ending. And so that's all I have on like urban legends, just so you have a background on what they are. So let's hop into a few urban legends. Now I know you guys are gonna come down my throat and be like, why are you not covering Bloody Mary? Why are you not covering Black Eyed Children? Why are you not covering... I covered another urban legend that I don't remember what it was. But look, I already covered those on our TikTok. So if you want to watch those, they're already up there. They're short, quick, to the point urban legends. Today I'm gonna talk about some urban legends that are kind of uncommon. Maybe if you've seen the movie Urban Legend, you've seen some of these, but they're kind of uncommon. So the first one we're going to talk about is the hug. One summer night, a teenage boy was going on a date with his new girlfriend. He picked her up at her house and they drove out to the edge of town. They parked the car in a secluded spot that was a well-known lover's lane. I'm sorry, if my first date with you was to lover's lane, I'm punching you directly in the face.
Maybe they went, you know what, they should have went to movies and went there after.
You're right, it doesn't actually say it's his first date. It just said went on a date. That's not a date, y'all. If you take me to a place to hook up, that's not a date, okay? Yeah. We need to go to dinner, like,
at least
dang,
dinner,
right? As they gazed out at the lights of the town, the boy put his arm around the girl and switched on the car radio so they could listen to some romantic music. He leaned over and the young couple began kissing and cuddling. Just as they were getting into the mood, the music suddenly stopped and a news reader's voice came on the radio. This is an emergency announcement. Earlier tonight, a crazed murderer escaped from the state mental asylum. Police are warning citizens to be on their guard since the patient is considered armed and dangerous. The insane killer is nicknamed the Hook Man because he lost his right hand in an accident. It was replaced with a steel hook. I'm sorry, why is it still replaced with a steel hook in a mental asylum?
That's what I'm saying. I feel like he would just have a nub because he can't give you weapons.
You cannot have no hook in a mental asylum?
Yeah, like you gave him a weapon? Like, no.
Put a fork or a spoon there.
No, that's even like a spoon maybe, but a fork has pointy
That's
ends.
True. Oh, give him no, you can't even have a sport unless it's a plastic sport.
I'm just saying he has another hand. He can just use that one.
Right. Everyone in the area should be on the lookout for a man fitting this description. If you see anything suspicious, you should report it to the police immediately.
Okay.
The girl?
Isn't this like in the 70s?
Girl, I don't know, because if they're going to a lover's lane, going to a lover's lane, I'm assuming so. Because do we even have lover's lane anymore? You know,
we just go to a hotel now.
Or you just hook up in the back seat of the car. Yeah. People don't even go fancy places. They just go to a park. That's the lover's lane.
You know? Yeah,
you just go into a park. Do not do these things, okay, people? The girl became frightened and asked to be taken home. She knew that the insane asylum was not far from lover's lane.
You know what? She is smart. I give her the gold medal of good girlfriend.
She was also worried that the remote area where they had parked was the perfect spot for a deranged madman to lurk. Girl, clock it, because you're right. The boy was feeling brave and assured his girlfriend that they were perfectly safe. Sir, unless you got a 12-gauge shotgun in your car, we are not safe. He locked all the car doors. Wow, like they can't break the window. You got a hook hand. And then tried to kiss her again. The girl became frantic and pushed him away, insisting that they leave immediately.
Can we do this like in a parking lot?
Right, girl? Like, I mean, boy, another place. No, not another place. We're not hooking up in your car, homie. Get a hotel. In a huff, the boy slammed the car into gear and spun its wheels as he pulled out of the parking space. On the way back to town, they both calmed down, but the girl still held on tightly to her boyfriend. When they pulled up outside the girl's house, the boy got out of the car and walked around to open the front door for his girlfriend. For a long time, he stood there staring at the door. At first, the girl couldn't figure out what was wrong. Then she realized that her door was still locked. She smiled and unlocked it. Still, the boy just stood there. The girl was puzzled and rolled down her window. Then she saw that the boy was staring down at the door handle. Slowly, she looked down herself and began to scream uncontrollably. There, hanging from the door handle, was a bloody stainless steel hook.
Wait, I have a question. Was he just hanging on to the car?
I know, I was wondering, like, if it's bloody, you guys ripped his hook out of his hand. Like, he should be telling legends of you. Like,
yeah, like, don't go to those teenagers' hookups.
Right, they will drag you
for miles.
No, but seriously, that is kind of creepy, because, like, you already kind of, you know, like, when you're in a scary movie, or, like, when you watch a scary movie, hear something scary, you're already putting yourself in that instance, but most of the time, you don't have to deal with it. Yeah. But to know that, like, girl, if you didn't push this man, that he was definitely going to get you guys.
In the movie Urban Legends, there's something similar to that story, but instead it's like they're making out in the car and the guy goes out to pee or whatever, and then the girlfriend here is scratching on the hood of the car, and so she gets in the car, driver's seat, and like drives away, and then she doesn't know that there's a rope attached to the car that's attached to his neck, and that, so what she does, she is actually hearing his footsteps on top of the car, and when she drives out, it pulls him up and strangles him.
Yeah, girl.
But honestly, that's a lot to do, and for her not to notice.
She was probably scared. She's probably just like hearing stuff and was like, no.
But you don't hear, like, how did the killer get you on top of the car? Girl. Also hanging you by the rope. Like,
maybe while he was peeing, a noose came around his neck and just pulled it.
Okay, but that pull initially would have like snapped his neck.
Maybe it wasn't that big, grand of a pull. He slowly dragged him.
Oh my god.
Look, girl, I'm not a deranged killer. I don't know. So this story is called Humans Can Lick Too. I'm sorry, you guys, if I sound weird. It's because I just choked on some water like 5 seconds ago. It literally took me a minute.
And if I sound weird, it's because I'm sick and it's all Brenda's fault.
It's not.
Yes, it is.
The parents told the girl to lock all the windows and doors after they had left. But there was one window in the basement that would not close completely. Trying as best as she could, she finally got the window shut, but it would not lock. So she left the window and went upstairs.
I feel like her parents should have done something.
I know,
with
like,
that.
girl, that's great if I'm locking on the windows. If this one don't lock, then what am I gonna do?
Yeah.
She should put, like, underneath the window, little, like they did in Your Next, put nails under a board. Yeah. That way, at least if they fall down, you can at least hear them scream. But just to make sure that no one could get in, she put the deadbolt lock on the basement door. Okay, well, that's smart. Then she sat down, had some dinner, fed the dog, and decided to go to sleep for the night. Settling down, she snuggled up in her bed. Her dog slept underneath her bed. She reached down her hand and let the dog lick it as she said goodnight.
What kind of dog she got? A German Shepherd? Like,
I don't know. It looked like a Lassie dog, but I don't know what Lassie was.
Lassie.
During the night, she woke up with a start. The girl lay there, wondering what had woken her up, when she suddenly heard a noise. It was a dripping sound and seemed to be coming from the bathroom. She must have left the water running, and now it was dripping into this drain of her sink. So thinking it was no big deal, she decided to go back to sleep. Girl, water bill?
Wait, did that guy just take a shower? Like,
girl, I don't know, but like the water bill was crazy because my parents would have like, you heard that drip? Why you just say that? You let it drip all night. She felt nervous, so she reached her hand over the edge of the bed and let the dog lick her hand for reassurance that he would protect her. Again, about 3:45, she woke up hearing dripping. When they put dripping, they put like 3 P's in there.
They went, no, it's dripping.
Again, she reached her hand down and let the dog lick it. Then she fell back to sleep. At 6:52, the girl decided that she had had enough, so she got up just in time to see her parents pulling up to the house. Great, what your parents doing, girl? They didn't come back till 6 in the morning. Good, she thought. Now somebody could fix that sink, because I know I didn't leave it running. She walked to the bathroom, and there was the collie dog. Oh, it's a collie. So I guess Lassie is a collie dog. Skinned and hung up on the curtain rod.
How did he do this?
Why did you skin my dog?
Without the dog saying, like,
I don't
making
know.
a sound.
Maybe he stabbed him or something. I don't know how the dog didn't hear him. The noise she had heard was its blood dripping into puddles on the floor. The girl screamed and ran to her bedroom and got to get a weapon. Girl, she just keep weapons in her bedroom.
I mean, it's kind of smart if you think about it.
No, it is, but... She ran to get a weapon in case someone was still in the house, and then on the floor next to her bed, she saw a small note written in blood saying, "Humans can lick too."
He nasty. He
no.
He don't know where her hand's been.
Oh, heck no. Girl, if I ever found... Girl, I would not be able to sleep at all ever again.
Ever again?
I would have sleep with the lights on and 3 people in the room. Because that's scary.
That's nasty.
That is nasty, but to think of the short... Like, thankfully he didn't kill her. For some weird reason, he broke in to kill the dog. I'm assuming he stole stuff from the house, because, like, why did you kill...
She didn't hear that either?
Nah, girl. She was like, la 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 la.
She didn't hear nothing.
No, she didn't. It's probably best that she stayed until morning, because Kyle would have killed her and skinned her like that dog. You know, that story was also in... No, wait. No, it wasn't.
It was in the second Urban Legends, but they did it differently.
Okay.
It's not like they explicitly did it, like the details of it.
This one's called The Kitty Thieves. There was a young man who was going to college. He went to Las Vegas with his buddies for spring break. They were having a good time, going from bar to bar and gulping down drink after drink. They stopped at one bar where a band was playing music, and pretty soon the friends were all laughing, singing, and joking loudly. I'm sorry, this is shouting loudly. I don't even know why I said joking loudly. The young man had just finished another drink when a beautiful woman came up to him and started chatting.
Kill her.
He was surprised and flattered at the same time. The woman seemed to be really attracted to him, so she invited him to another party. He readily agreed. Leaving his friends at the bar, flag number 1, that's red flag number 1, we come together, we leave together, period. The young man followed her to the apartment on the outskirts of town. Dang, he was running some kitty cat, sir.
But you know what? I heard men do that. They do anything for it.
They don't do anything for them. Some men do anything for it. Not all men. Some men be like, ew, you look gross. I'm not going to do this for you.
But he's also drunk.
That's true. He's got beer goggles. When they went inside, there was already a party in full swing. They continued to drink and even danced a little. Then the girl began rummaging around in her handbag and took out a small pouch. Inside there were 2 pills. She took one pill out and popped it in her mouth. Then with a smile, she offered him the other one. No, I don't know you. I'm not taking no drugs with you.
We ain't that kind of close.
Although the young man would never do drugs, he decided to try it out just this once.
I love how the young man ain't got no name.
Really? Because he's not smart, so he's not even about to ruin somebody else's name with your name, okay? No. He thanked her, took a pill, and swallowed it. That was the last thing he remembered. The next morning, he woke up in an unfamiliar hotel. Looking around, he realized that he was lying completely naked, submerged up to his neck in a bathtub filled with ice. Groggy and disoriented, he frantically tried to remember how he ended up there. He was confused, scared, and in a lot of pain. That's when he spotted a crumpled note in his hand, and it read, "If you don't want to die, call 911. Okay.
Thanks.
There was a cell phone sitting on a small table beside beside the bathtub. He picked it up and dialed the number, his fingers numb and clumsy from the ice. When the emergency service operator answered, the young man explained that he didn't know where he was or how he got there, but he was in a lot of pain. Then he mentioned the bathtub filled with ice and the note, and the operator seemed oddly familiar with his situation. She said,
again.
She said, "Sir, can you do the following for me? Slowly and carefully get out of the bathtub and examine yourself in the mirror." The man grabbed the towel rack and pulled himself out of the ice. Looking out over at the mirror, he saw that there were 2 9-inch slits in his lower back. The sheer amount of anger that I would have if I were him, because like, you got me so messed up. When he described the injuries, the 911 operator said, "What the fudge?"
That's what she said.
No, I'm sorry, I don't know what this says. Look at this.
Oh, it's 30.
I don't know. It says, "Blank wants you to get back in the bathtub, sir. The paramedics are on their way. Do not move until they arrive." "What happened to me?" asked the young man nervously. "I don't want you to panic," said the 911 operator, "but last night you were drugged. Someone removed both your kidneys. There's a ring of organ thief operating in this city. They harvest kidneys and sell them on the black market. They say that the young man is currently in a hospital on life support machine awaiting a kidney donor."
Oh my god.
They say, that's how you know it's one of those where, like, word of mouth stories. They say that he's on life support machine waiting for a kidney. I hope he got his kidney.
Really?
Well, he
just
sneaks to buy his kidneys back.
Oh my god. She at least could left him one.
Right. She's like, while I'm down here,
might just take 2.
This next movie, this is not a movie. This next, well, it is in the movie though. Is called Bedroom Light.
Okay, I know we're about to talk about it, but I actually didn't know about this until I watched the movie.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't know about this story.
Oh my gosh, I remember reading this one time. I was in computer class in 7th grade, and we were not supposed to be... I was on a scary website reading stories, and I read that story.
Oh, dang.
I was like, Charmy, this better not happen to us. Neither one of us. But let's hop into the story. There were 2 girls who were best friends in school. They went to college and decided to live together and became roommates. One night, they were staying up late trying to do some last-minute studying for a midterm exam that was scheduled for the next morning. One of the girls was quite lazy, so she decided to give up studying and went to bed early. I don't know if she's lazy because she actually was studying.
Yeah, I was like, she's tired.
Right. The other girl was a hard worker, so she stayed up late because she wanted to do well in the exam. During the night, the girl who stayed up remembered that she had left one of the books she needed in her bedroom. She didn't want to wake her roommate by turning on the light, so she sneaked into the bedroom, rummaged around in the dark looking for the book she needed. She heard some heavy breathing and she whispered her roommate's name, asking her if she was awake. There was no answer. And then the girl jumps out the window because she's me and I'm not dealing with this. Okay. Girl, no.
That was not in the story.
That's not in the story. But girl, no. Heavy breathing and you're not responding, I'm definitely jumping out this window.
She got asthma.
Then the girl heard something moving around in the dark and she whispered, "Can I turn on the bedroom light?" There was no answer. The girl cleared her throat and asked again, "Can I turn on the bedroom light? I need to find something." The roommate didn't respond. So the girl sighed in frustration and continued to search for the book in the darkened room. Eventually she found the one she was looking for. The girl took the book and felt her way in the darkness towards the door. She stayed up all night studying and in the morning raced down to the exam hall to take her test. But she noticed her roommate never showed up for the exam. Probably because she's lazy, apparently, in this story. The girl was worried about her friend, so when she got home, she rushed upstairs and knocked on her roommate's door. There was no answer. The girl was getting quite anxious at this point, so she opened the door and turned on the bedroom lights. She was met with the most horrible sight she had ever laid eyes on. Her roommate lay motionless, sprawled on top of her bed in a pool of blood. She had been brutally murdered. Then the girl turned around and saw something that chilled her to the bone. Written on the wall behind her in smeared blood was the words, "Aren't you glad you didn't turn on the lights?"
Dang, now that is scary.
That is so scary, dude. No.
I think the movie did a really good job, like, rendition of it. Because, well, they're like these 2 roommates in college and they didn't like each other. And her roommate, there's a goth roommate in the main character. Yeah. And the goth roommate liked to have hookups in the dorm.
It's like she's into like BDSM or something.
Yeah,
like that.
And so like she's getting on with the killer. Well, not really. The killer's trying to kill her, but it looks like they're getting on. And her roommate comes in, the lights are off, and she's like, "Oh, sorry, excuse me," and like leaves her there. And then as she's killing her in the room, and like there's no door either. Like they're in the same room, like the bedroom. You can clearly see each other. And he's killing her, and she's like, "Okay, I'll put my headphones on and go to sleep."
Yeah.
And then she wakes up and finds her body, and it's like, "Oh my god, that is cool." It's not cool. I mean, the way they did it, like retold the story.
Because like she didn't think too much of it, because that girl was always having crazy, freaky, wild sex. Yeah. So it was like another Friday for her. Mm-hmm. So this is a Korean. This is Korean, right? Yes, this is a Korean horror urban legend. It's called the Cuckoo. The Cuckoo urban legend began to spread rapidly around Korea for a few years. Rumors were heard in schoolyards about a crazy man they called Mr. Cuckoo or the Cuckoo Man. They said, maybe I'm just saying it weird. They said he would lurk in alleys and side streets, laying in wait for his victims. Oh, sir, no.
A regular day.
Right, well, so regular creep in America. As soon as a group of young girls passed by, they would hear a voice call, "Cuckoo, cuckoo." When they turned around to look, the man would attack them with an overwhelming and indiscriminate violence. Some say he carried a baseball bat. Others say it was an axe. Oh, those are 2 different weapons. I mean, they both kill you, but girl, an axe and a baseball bat are 2 different things. Like,
I don't know which is worse.
I don't either. Maybe
I feel like the axe is quicker, but the baseball bat.
But probably painful. Yeah. Like them slices through.
I feel like the baseball bat would take longer. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't know, man.
I feel like with the baseball bat, I at least have the opportunity to grab it and hold it. Like I could try to do that with the axe, but there's the possibility that it's gonna hit my body, and that's it. Reports claim that many Korean girls were maimed by the crazy man, and a few were even killed. In one incident, 20 to 30 Korean schoolgirls were walking down a street when a man suddenly stepped out of the shadows and began beating them with a club as if he were playing a game of whack-a-mole.
Y'all could have took him, okay? He got one weapon. We all jump him. He can't take us all.
I'm sorry. Why did y'all just compare this to a game of whack-a-mole? Before the police arrived, the unidentified man fled, leaving 5 girls severely injured. They say if you're walking down a deserted street and you hear someone say, cuckoo, cuckoo, you should never answer the call with cuckoo, cuckoo, and then run for your life. Oh wait, you should answer the call with cuckoo, cuckoo, and then run for your life. As the story goes, Mr. Cuckoo was a man who suffered from a severe mental illness. He was committed into an insane asylum as a mental patient. While he was being treated there, he was attacked by a female patient who beat him senselessly and left him scarred for life. Dang. After he recovered, he developed an intense hatred of women.
Dang.
Soon afterwards, the Cuckoo Man escaped from the mental home and disappeared. Authorities were never able to track him down, and after a while, they gave up searching for him. That is crazy. That sounds like that sounds like American Cops. Today, he's still on the loose and stalks the lonely streets, looking for young girls to attack. Kids who have seen the Cuckoo Man describe him as being in his early 30s, very big and tall, wearing a black beanie hat. What's a beanie hat? According to the legend, the Cuckoo Man will sometimes ask a non-sensual question like, is Mr. Cuckoo cuckoo, or do you know the cuckoo? If you don't know the answer to his question or don't have an answer at all, he will immediately attack you. The best thing is to say yes to whatever he asks and then start running. Right. The cuckoo's like, if you don't answer me, you're gonna die. And if you answer wrong, you're gonna die.
It's cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
Yo. He's cuckoo for hitting people. And last but least, we have a Chinese urban legend called Room 111. There is a room in the basement of a new Asian college dormitory called Room 111. Years ago, it was shared by an electronics engineer student and a medical student. Both students got along well and studied hard all week long. One night, the electronic engineer student was in the room alone. He was under a lot of pressure because of an important test that was coming up. He was afraid he was going to fail and became so upset that he decided to commit suicide. Dang. Yeah, that's wild. He picked up some circuit boards, copper wire, batteries, welding tools, and a clock. He made a suicide timing tool. He strapped the copper wire to himself and connected it to a powerful battery that was connected to an alarm clock. Then the alarm went off and he was electrocuted as he laid in bed. So he should have just took the exam. I feel like doing all this was a lot. The next morning, the medical student finally returned to the dormitory. When he went into the room, he saw his roommate laying motionless in the bed and thought he was sleeping. Wait, I'm sorry, but wasn't he strapped to all this stuff? How did he think he was sleeping?
Well, it was dark. I don't know.
He came in the morning.
I don't know, man.
The medical student stayed in the room for days until he finally realized that he had been sharing the room with a dead body. It took him days to realize that.
Okay, then you're just the worst roommate ever.
He said, I'm studying, sir. I ain't got time to see if you're alive. It is said that although the medical student was later removed from the room, he was still very troubled by the incident and ultimately lost his mind.
Yeah, I can understand.
Yeah, same. Suffering from mental illness, he was placed in a lunatic asylum for the rest of his life. The school authorities decided to rearrange all the room numbers so that the students wouldn't know which room was 111. Another version of the story, Room 111 of the Grace 10 Hall, was the home of a brilliant science undergrad who believed he had discovered how to transfer himself through space and time. He wrapped himself in an elaborate wire contraption and attached it to an alarm clock and a powerful battery. Then, when it rang, he believed it would send him hurtling into another dimension. The experiment went wrong, and when the alarm rang, the student died of a massive shock. Well, in a sense, he did go to another dimension.
What happened?
His roommate returned to find him dead on his bed with a note that read, "I'll come back soon."
To the afterlife.
Right, sir, like come back as a living person or a ghost? Cause no. And so those are some quick and cool urban legends. I don't know if they're cool, but the bedroom one creeps me out.
Yeah, the one was like a good thing you didn't turn on the lights. That one was the scariest. That one was
so scary to me. I still don't like the humans kill too, because I don't just like the fact I don't like that you're a psychopath and you would do something like that. But the bedroom one definitely scares me.
You nasty. You look at people's hands.
And I don't have a fear of the kidney thief unless the only thought that could I'm trying to figure out how to word this. It's scary to think that could really happen to you. Like, you could be drinking a drink and someone spike it, and next thing you know, like, you wake up in a bathtub full of ice. Like, that is kind of creepy to think about, because at that point, I don't even know. I mean, y'all might have to be on a kidney transfer list and be in the hospital electric support machine with homie who got his kidney stolen. But the thought of waking up and knowing
he ain't got no siblings.
Right.
Can't get a kidney from them.
Sir, you stupid. You shouldn't have went with that girl.
Where your parents at?
I'm gonna be mad if I give you my kidney and it gets taken again. Well, you've made it to the end.
You must really like the sounds of our high-pitched voices and quirky commentary.
You might as well like and subscribe to our channel and hit the bell to be notified every time we drop new content. If you want to follow our social medias, they will be linked in the description box below.
Bye!
Bye, you guys. Don't turn on the lights. Make sure your dog be whimpering instead of just licking. And don't be taking drinks from girls, okay? Or boys.